Hi, I'm Ria.
Hi, I'm Hayley, and together we are
Chronicles of a Spoonie.
sharing stories.
Creating connections. I got that mystery box, didn't I, from Unicorn Cosmetics.
Yes.
And I had been on their live and I warned them that I'm a newbie and I don't know much about it. And I also asked for no glitter, which they said it's a set box, so they couldn't really change bits. That's
okay.
Fine. I couldn't open the eyeshadow. And I'm not even joking. I could not get it open.
Why?
I don't know. And we're going to show you. I was recording because I was doing the box opening. I wanted to do my first like makeup box opening, and so I was being like, and I got this, and I'm showing it, and I got this, and I'm showing it, and I've got this makeup eyeshadow palette out, and I'm like, and I'm lucky I got it recording, and I've just put it up on live because when I figured out how to do it, I could not stop laughing at myself. But this is what went down.
When you're on the you'll be trying to show off your new items from Unicorn Cosmetics.
I can get it. I'm like proper pushing it.
I just love how you shook it for a while in the hope that it would just magically fall out.
Yeah. I'm literally giving it my best, giving it my all. I couldn't fathom for the life of me why it wouldn't open. And then I realized the moment it all just,
oh no,
it just slides out.
It was that easy to open.
And I couldn't stop laughing at myself because it literally just went. But what was happening was I was holding onto the edge with my grip. So I'm holding onto the whole thing, the inside and the outside packaging, and I'm pushing on it at the same time. So that's like, like if you hold this in your hand, you can slide it in and out. But if you're gripping it, it doesn't matter how much you're pulling it, you can't get it out. So I'm literally gripping the packet, pushing on the palette. And
only you. That's all I'm gonna say. Only you.
But I was watching it back the other day to edit it, and I saw that bit and I was like, that's the bit I'm posting. I got this whole video and that's the bit I decided I was going to post.
You have to. Well, while we're on the topic of stupid stuff, right before we start recording, I don't drink fizzy drinks, but I just decided tonight there was a can of Coke in the fridge. I'm taking this can of Coke out and I'm going to have some. And right before I joined the Zoom with you, do I not spill the entire can of Coke all over the floor? And Coke is the stickiest thing in the world. So there's me trying to like clean it as quickly as I can before it gets sticky and then go and mop the floor. But it's in the most awkward position because it's between the two sofas. So I was like moving the sofas out of the way, trying to sort everything, and yeah.
The dog's not get it.
No, I kept them away.
I was just picturing Cooper and Arnold hyper on E numbers.
It's the last thing they need to be hyper on. They're hyper enough.
The state's been quite calm at the minute.
Yeah, you showed me up.
Just so you know, you're down here for me in a minute.
So I'm down below.
I'm looking down. You're down. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, he's chill. Right? He's just gonna lie here.
He's like, Cooper's had the spotlight, Mum. My turn.
Yeah. Cooper didn't realize he wasn't being recorded at the time.
Did you just see the eye he gave? Oh, bless your heart.
It's so funny.
He's too cute. I do love him. It just makes me think of Willow from the podcast.
Yeah.
We did on Thursday.
Oh, she was so good. You're going to get all the drinking in the background.
It's fine. You're going to get the talking for the football too. But that's the good thing about this. It's the real part. It's not the setup, prepared, really editing every noise out we can. This is just us being us. Good luck, people. But yeah, we interviewed a cat called Willow on Thursday. Now, this you may have already seen it. You may be up and coming, but Willow is a seizure alert cat. Don't ask how. She just started doing it.
It still amazes me.
But she's also like so well behaved and trained, and she did an interview with us. Don't ask how that happened yet. You'll have to see it to find out. But they say don't work with pets or animals. Got it right this
No,
time.
you just done it. You just got it wrong again.
I did pets and animals, didn't I?
Last time you did kids and children, and this time you did pets and animals.
But straight afterwards, I went, I got it right this time. I still didn't get it right.
I should have said anything and just like let you hear this back and realize that you said it completely wrong.
That's just me.
Oh, you try so hard.
I know what I mean. I know what I mean in my head. You just have to realize what I mean for me, okay? They say don't work with pets. I was going to do it again then. Pets and kids.
Yes.
And working with Willow, I don't understand that.
She was so easy to work with.
She really was. We've had some really good. Do you know what? We haven't had just really good people. Willow, like it's been so easy.
It has, and I know how nervous we were before we even started our first one. Like I remember us sitting together beforehand, just panicking about what are we doing. You know, we had serious imposter syndrome, sitting thinking we are mad. Why are we doing this? No one's going to listen to this. Everyone's going to hate it. And that fear was just taken away straight away by that first guest. And since then, it's just we felt our confidence growing and growing over time, you know, and it's just we've come a really long way in a space of doing a few interviews.
I have definitely noticed you've come a long way on the camera. The first day, I'd say that just before we went on, you seemed very camera focused. But got about 5 minutes into the podcast, and like you just seen your shoulders just drop as well. I know mine was up because I was checking myself. Yeah,
I had been too.
It's a difference, but there's a massive difference between doing a live, deleting, and knowing that it's going to be there. Now, obviously, back then our podcast was going to be video as well.
Yes,
which is now audio, which I figure out I better explain that because people are going to go, wait, what? Why does the camera matter? It's audio. But it was going to be camera and audio. It's going to be on YouTube. But us ourselves found it hard doing our interviews and having it on camera. And we spoke to a few of the up-and-coming applicants to do it as well, and realized that nobody was really comfortable with the whole video and audio and switched it. And I think we both just went, oh my God.
I didn't realize it either. Neither of us sat and thought about that specific aspect until we decided for everybody else's sake that we were going to take out the camera and the video footage. It wasn't until we said that we both went, I get it. I totally see why nobody wanted to be on camera, because now we've done ours. I'm so glad ours isn't going to be on camera too.
Absolutely. And we went from cancellations, no more applicants, panicking, what were we doing? This isn't going to work. We're going to run out of people. It's going to be over very soon. To taking out the aspect of the camera and the applications just going. Boop.
Exactly.
Just that one thing that for me is a natural thing to have on, because you're talking to somebody, you want to see their face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess I've never been a podcast listener. I've watched podcasts on YouTube. I've watched a lot of podcasts on YouTube. I don't have a Spotify. I've never had a Spotify account before this. I've never had, anything like that. So learning to take the camera out was definitely really weird for me at the start. The idea of not having it, because I know me and you spoke about it before, and we both were like, well, we're kind of thinking about why wouldn't you? Like, why for YouTube and that lot? But I get it. The idea of my video going out, especially of my sobbing, with my face on it, was just terrifying. And I remember me and you sat there going, right, who's going out first? Because it became a question, didn't it? It became a thing.
It did, and I'm just glad that, another reason we said from the scrap, from the get-go, that we were gonna do our own illnesses and do our own podcast, because it wouldn't be fair of us to sit and interview other people without having gone through that ourselves, to sort of educate everybody on what we have and raise the awareness for our conditions. But I think now, having gone through that process for ourselves, knowing that we've gone through what everybody else has gone through and having their perspective of what they're experiencing at that time, I think that's really helped us form those decisions too, because we've been in their shoes and we know exactly what it feels like. And it's scary. It is scary. But as with everybody else, we settled into it within about 5 minutes or so. We got comfortable and we just fell into a rhythm of answering the questions, and it ended up being a good experience. So
yeah, I remember we were going to do it before any of the interviews started, so that we had the mindset of how they would feel.
yeah.
And we didn't get to do it, and we had a couple of interviews first, and then we went to go and do our own interviews, and I remember mine coming up, and I remember postponing my own, thinking, because I was like, wait, do I know everything? Do I know everything I need to know? Am I going to get this wrong? And I was questioning myself for something that I've educated people on for a while now. But you question, have I misread that? And you know that because I went Googling to just clarify everything that I knew, and I got panicked.
Yeah.
Then we did it. And it was just this big light on of how they were feeling on the other end. The whole super anxious, wanted to postpone, didn't want to do it. So glad I did it.
Completely.
After it was done, you got that sense of relief, but also proud of yourself. Like, I've done it before. There's a video on YouTube of me having done it before, and yet this was harder.
But it is, though. I think it's because whenever you recorded your YouTube stuff, that was, you thought about it, you sat down, and it was just you going through at your own pace. If you wanted to stop and go back to it another day, you could. There was no real time constriction. And although we're not constrained with time for the podcast, at the end of the day, we need to do it all in the one session, because we're both there at that time. We can't just, we're not both free at the same time all the time, with work and the other commitments. We set aside the time for one night, and all of a sudden it is, okay, so I have my podcast tomorrow night, and I have 2 hours, and I need to get everything in there, and I need to remember everything, and I need to make sure I cover everything. I can't go back to this a week later and go, I forgot to include this, so I can fire it in. And all of a sudden it's just this 10 dozen questions going through your head, thinking, I'm going to forget this, I'm going to forget that. What if I say this the wrong way and somebody hears it and takes it the wrong way? And it's just being overly conscious about what you're talking about.
It's almost like lights, camera, action, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Bright lights on you, you're now in the spotlight, get the questions right.
But you know what? It's so nice. I know my worry coming into this with you from the start is I have had no experience on camera before, and I was sitting thinking it's either going to be sink or swim for me. And at that point I was thinking it's going to be sink, because I don't know how I'm going to react on camera. You do this every day, you go on lives, you make your videos, you make TikToks and things like that, and I had just never done that before. So I was so panicky about how that was going to go on that side of things too, and that took a long time to overcome.
Yes, as I was saying before, you've seen first 5 minutes of the first one, your shoulders just, I don't know how you're feeling inside, but you just, if you watch, from my point of view, if you watch you from the first 5 minutes and then everything after that, the same as the person we were interviewing, their shoulders went from that down. And you just, from that moment on, every time we did a recording, you were, I don't know, more confident. The way that you came across on the camera, just every time, and especially like again now, it's going up and up and up.
Yeah, no, I have definitely got more comfortable, and I don't think I could ever have done this alone. I don't think this is something that I would do, just on I would never have gained the confidence to do it on just a one-to-one basis. I would never been able to do it without somebody else, and you're the right person to do it with.
It's too silly. I think it's like I said to you, I couldn't have done the whole podcast without you. It's took me so long to get to the point where, okay, I'm really going to do this, as you know, to obviously our friendship, which is something we talked about in the intro, and it started really happening, that's when imposter syndrome kicked in, like really kicked in, because it started becoming really real. And then I was like, I watch podcasts on YouTube and I'm looking at them going, we're not even on their level. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Right.
It looks so stupid. I mean, there's a possibility we will look stupid, but at least we try. At least we're trying to do something.
Yeah, I think before I truly got into this with you, from the moment you asked, I thought, yeah, this is great. We'll just record some stuff and stick it on the internet. Until you actually go through the process of step by step what there is to do, you don't realize how much there is.
I know.
There's so much, like just the behind the scenes kind of stuff, with getting all of our feeds set up to be able to post onto all of those different platforms, to the tech side of stuff of actually having the equipment that we need to be able to record, to your lighting, to where you're positioning yourself, to the website, to
that's it,
research, to social media, to getting your guests, and
editing,
orchestrating the different times of recordings.
And we don't have the space in our homes to have a permanent setup. Like every time we do a recording, we're having to set up. We both have our chronic illnesses. We both suffer chronic pain. Like it's so big. And even when we are struggling, we are coming forward and still doing the interviews.
Because we both thoroughly enjoy it.
Love it. And it's, do you know my favorite part about the whole thing is literally learning. Like the things that we've learned so far, and we're only a few in, blow my mind. I didn't know skin could do that. I didn't know somebody with anxiety could think like that. Like it just, I don't know. I'm a sponge. I like learning. So I've always liked learning. Every time I get a new condition, I will research as much as I can and take in as much as I can. And I'm learning, even just in the applications, because we go searching, we have a look into them all, because we need to know a bit of knowledge about what we're going to talk about, so we can set the questions and stuff for them. And just the names that come in of conditions. First of all, why are we naming them like this? Like,
to the point where neither of us can pronounce them, and we have both muddled up our words on countless occasions. As
we know, one of the podcasts we've already recorded, somebody here
and me I've done it too.
They were hard. Like they were crazy hard to say. And where they could have just said yellowing of the skin or something like that, they've made this massive. Okay, I've just realized something. My light's not even plugged in. How's my lighting?
Your lighting's good. I thought your light was on.
It's not on. It's not even plugged in. My knees. It's like having a cheese grater on my knee. Look.
Oh, I hate that, because if you take them off, you end up with lines all across your legs.
I don't know if you can see. There you go. Look.
Yeah, I can see. I'm waiting for them all to go ping, 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 because
I know. That's what
I'll pop.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, okay, go put your light on since you forgot to do that. Amateur.
That's what I'm saying. Imposter syndrome. Oh, geez. How's
wow.
That? So much better, right?
That complexion.
Have you seen Mac and Me? It's a very old 80s alien.
I have not.
Come on.
You need to turn it down a bit more. Can you turn it down?
Yeah, it's nearly all the way off. It's legit nearly all the way off.
What about turning your normal light off? Don't mind us, guys. Just, setting up for our recording. And
I wish you could see what's behind you, so you could see what I'm having to climb over. It's literally an obstacle course. Yeah. Everything normally on the sofa is like shoved up in the corner.
I think that's going to be better now.
Yeah.
I love how we're talking about how much more confidence we're growing and we're both learning so much more. And then halfway through our Chit Chat podcast, we do the setup.
This is me just climbing in and out of the scene. Still going to have to go down, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's you now.
Is that okay, or is it too much, or do I go back to the main light?
No, I think that's okay.
Okay. Imposter syndrome much?
I know. Yeah, what are we doing? Let's go. Bye.
Oh my god, just not get drinks.
What?
Just not re drink over.
Oh, you've just done what I did before we started.
Yeah.
We're both on a really good roll tonight.
You know what? It will contain itself. Right. First of all, let me uncheese grate my kneecaps because I can't.
We're supposed to be like comfy, chilling on our sofa, and you choose the most uncomfortable pair of jeans you can think of.
Hang on a minute. First of all, I wasn't going to come down to the sofa because I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it, and so I put on my favorite jeans, which are just full of holes. Why I wear them in the winter, I do not know, but there we go. Heat pad is on. But I did, and now I am highly regretting it because I'm sitting cross-legged, and yeah.
You can just blame me because I pressured you into going downstairs.
Yes, you did. How dare you? Right, let me have a swift drink. Oh my god, it's luckily it was the water I spilled and not the rain. I don't have a tea towel up here and I ain't getting up again. That's just that. Scott found one more box of Prony. The rest is out of stock. So I'm like reserving it.
You had this issue before too, didn't you? Where it was you couldn't get it anywhere.
Yeah, and last time Scott ended up having to travel to Waitrose to go and get them. So yeah,
I need to get more before Christmas.
I know. Next time I told you he's going to do it. He's staring at me. There he goes. He literally stood up staring at me.
Why?
Now he's down.
God, go away.
Ridiculous.
We're keeping that bit in.
Oh, hey.
That might be our new profile picture for our social media. Just you.
Not me.
Yeah.
Babe, go away. He's literally found a crack in the I wish you could see what he's doing to me. It's, because we've still got protectors on the glass. Our doors are new and they've got some glass in them, so they've still got the protectors on because we need to get them stained.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is if they see what looks like a scratch in the glass, they break open the seal so they can actually see if it's the plastic or the actual glass so they can get it replaced. And so Scott's found a piece that's got a hole on both sides and he's put his eyeball up to it and he's like that.
Oh my goodness.
Just so he can see me.
That boy is not normal.
No, I think it's kind of why I'm married him though. It means that when I do it, it just looks normal. I don't seem insane anymore. I seem normal.
Spoonful of knowledge, marry someone just as weird as you. So that you look normal.
Oh, weird. Yeah. There you go. That's sorted. Look, didn't even have to think about it this week. Sorted. Love that. Nice and easy. But yeah, it's sat down, thank goodness. I don't know what it is. I don't like being stared at.
Yeah.
If I'm sending you a voice note, I will cancel it if he stares at me.
Me too. I have to be by myself if I'm doing anything. Like I cannot be in the vicinity of my husband whenever I'm doing anything because I don't want him coming in either interrupting or being like, "What are you doing?" or just looking at me with a funny look. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because you feel, I don't know, I feel stupid talking to my phone.
Yeah.
I just feel really weird. And he'll go, "What are you doing?" I'll go, "For fuck's sake." I just done a 7-minute message there. Now I'm about to cancel it. He's like, "Why?" "Because you're staring at me." So? But I can't.
It throws you off.
Oh.
Oh, don't mind me. Tired.
Did you do that?
Yeah. Bedtime.
It's 7.
You underestimate how much I could sleep.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm not definitely not underestimating anything after my 3 naps today.
While we were having a real wild Saturday, the two of us.
I know. Do you know what? I feel like I'm 18 and over again. Oh, you left when you left my live earlier, I had a topic of conversation. I'd like to ask you the same question. And then I know you're in your 20s and you're not in your 40s. I've noticed my lateral lines are getting thicker, like around here. And I'm getting these fine lines on my lips.
Mm-hmm.
First time I felt 41. First time. It was not a nice feeling. I now understand when mothers go, I feel old. Oh my God. I get it. I say all the time, tell my mum how beautiful she is, because I don't notice any of that stuff. I just notice my mum and how beautiful she is. And today I went, I get it. And so I literally just turned around to my followers, because I was on a live at the time, and said, any of you thought about getting fillers? And I came off that live with a recommendation to someone.
That went from 0 to 100 really quickly.
But the idea of, I don't know if you could see it because of my lights on. Let me see if I turn it off for a second, because yeah, okay. So I have these, okay, and then I have these. But if you just do,
yeah,
the way it just changes the whole face outlook is just, it's amazing. It really, it changes everything. And I couldn't believe how much it changed when I just, do you know what I mean? Right now it goes all the way down here, and then just a little,
just that little,
and it just changes your face. And I, do you know what, I think I want fillers. I've been against them my entire life. But how I feel at the minute, looking at the lines and the aging, I don't like it. Like, I have enough to deal with anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, with everything else. And then I said, well, I've been waiting since I was 18 to get my first tattoo. I wonder when I'll get the fillers.
Oh, the thing I wonder if it plays into it for you as well is, like, I know how your skin is because of the dehydration and stuff too. So I wonder if that could be playing a part in it as well, because I know your skin just lifts from, you know, I know you showed me before, your skin does just lift. I wonder if that's maybe playing a part in it as well.
Yeah, I think it's the dehydration right down here. My skin just is now, it just hangs and stretches.
Yeah.
I would have thought by now on the new feed with the extra fluids that was going to adjust itself, but it hasn't, which has confused me. Maybe that's just permanent damage now, that it's just been so dehydrated for so long that it's just there. But the idea that just a couple of injections and that can,
aren't they supposed to really sting though?
yeah, but aren't tattoos meant to really,
I know what you mean.
I think it's like basically like how much you want it.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's bearable, I guess, so that people, otherwise people wouldn't get it done. So
some people do get numbed first.
yes.
Same as with tattoos. You can get numb for your tattoos now, can't you? Not that it lasts that long, but you can get numb on the face as well. I don't want my lips. I think that's the one that's meant to really, really sting.
Yeah.
I thought about, I tried to epilate my lip hair once.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, I tried to epilate somewhere else too, but don't ever do that again.
Either? Don't ever do either. This needs to come with a warning now. You do realize this, because you're gonna have people getting their epilators out and trying to use it on areas they're not supposed to. Please do not try this at home.
Mortified.
You do realize this is going on the internet?
Sometimes me and you just end up having conversations and I just don't think about it. And I just did not think about that for just a split second.
Actually, my eyes water.
Yeah, so I've epilated lip hair before, and dear God, I think I got maybe 1, maybe 2 hairs, and that was done. I was done. It got launched across the room as if it was a murderer and it was coming at me. I really punished it and launched it straight across the room. So don't come at it again.
I've tried tweezing one before and that was painful, so I can just imagine with an epilator.
Have you gotten to, at your age yet, the fine grey hairs that appear?
Not the fine grey hairs, but the reason I tried to pluck one on my upper lip was because it was one of those really dark, thick ones. You know the way whenever you just randomly get the growth of one, whether it's like on your chin or like
Yeah.
a random part of your body just grows this really thick, dark hair.
Yeah, and here.
Like, why?
And one on the top thigh. I've got 3. Don't understand it.
Why does it have? I don't get it.
It's almost like I'm swear I'm balding in my eyebrows. I swear it. I just swear it. And I swear it's just all accumulating down here somewhere. I'm literally going to be that person that's going to look like Nanny McPhee as an old person. I'm legit going to look like Nanny McPhee with some huge wart with loads of spiky hairs growing out of it. It's a true story. But
and one patchy eyebrow.
Yeah. Exactly that. There you go. You know it down to a T. But those little fine grey hairs, no words of a lie. You wait, they come out your back. Oh yeah, your chin, like everywhere around your face, but you don't spot them till they're like this big. Ooh. And you ask your husband, and they saw it all that time.
I have had one really fine grey hair, and it only happens every so often, and I'll feel like a tickle on my neck, and I'll be like, what is that? And then all of a sudden I'll get it and be like, oh, I've got you. It's like one of those little bastard hairs. It's just like sticking out. And then I go to pull it and I'm like, no, that's attached. That's in my neck.
And you pull it out and it's like this.
And I'm like, why have I got a hair at this length coming out of my neck?
I just don't get them. I don't get them. I get them on my chest, so I feel like I'm turning into a dude. Did I start taking testosterone? And I pluck them out. Scott will walk up behind me after a shower or when I'm like getting changed and pluck them at my back. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, no, I'm here. I don't want it. I don't want it.
You've taken it off my body. Don't give it back to me.
Yeah, have some glue. Place it back. I didn't mean to remove that. But I get them. And I'll see one on my face. And I'll be like, oh my God, have you seen this? He's like, oh yeah, I saw that the other day.
Tell me.
Did you not think to say something? Like, no.
Helpful.
Yeah. The worst one is don't dare share this bit. It's the worst one that they're putting on your face. There's just this one that comes out my ear. And it comes from deep down inside, like right deep down. Because when I pull it, it's deep down inside.
Ooh.
I love it. I literally want more. I want it to grow faster so I can pull it again.
It's one of those like really satisfying moments where you get like a spot that's just like one of those ones that's just gonna have a really proper good pop whenever you squeeze it.
Yeah, that's it. It just gives this most satisfying sensation because it doesn't hurt because it's in your ear, but it gives this like, you know, that itch in your ear you can never get.
Yes.
The sensation is like getting that itch.
Oh,
it's so good.
An ear itch is always really satisfying to get.
Yes, it is. And it takes about 6 months for the fucker to regrow long enough for me to get it. Honestly, devastated. Devastated.
The problems that we live with day to day.
Welcome to the life of chronic illness. I can't wait 6 months for an ear hair.
Why are you having a bad day today? Because my ear hair hasn't grown back so I can't pluck it yet. This is going in. I hope you realize this is 100% going in the podcast.
You can. That's mortifying. That's mortifying.
Here comes Bailey.
Baby.
Come on.
Look, you just moved this bottle, Mum. Baby.
Come on then. You can't see where you're going, can you? So for anyone who hasn't met Bailey before, Bailey is mine and my husband's 10-year-old diabetic blind dog. So he has his chronic illnesses too.
He's so cute.
So yeah, he gets his insulin twice a day, and it helps to manage his diabetes.
He does so good with it too.
He does really well with it.
It's so surprising. I was actually speaking to a friend of ours whose dog's got diabetes too, Storm, and my whole thought was, because you kept injecting them, that they were at some point going, you know what, I'm not coming near you anymore. It hasn't changed his bond with you at all.
No, and you know what? That's actually something. He was in the vets yesterday for, they do a glucose curve, so they keep him in from morning to night, and they monitor his glucose at intervals throughout the day to see what his curve's like, because everybody has a curve. Everybody's insulin goes up whenever they eat and drops whenever they're between meals. So he gets fed morning and night, and they check his curve then to see how far it goes up after his meal and how far it drops in the middle of the day. Sorry, I'm boring you, Ria.
Do you know what? In my head, I'm holding it in because I'm going, she's going to say to me, am I boring it? And I'm not holding it. I think, oh.
It's okay, I did it earlier. But that was one of the things, whenever I went to pick him up last night, they said he is just so chilled about getting his glucose checked, because it's the same as a human. They have to do a little pinprick to get it's the exact same kind of monitor as well that they use for humans.
On their pads?
Yeah. So they do a little pinprick, and they've done it like 5 or 6 times throughout the day, and every time he is just, I'm okay with this. And he's the same with his injection every night. It goes straight into his scruff of his neck, and he's just a pro at it.
He's so cute.
So they said he would stop barking all day. He just sits in because obviously they have him in the crates in there, and he just barked all day until somebody came to give him attention. As soon as somebody came to give him attention, he stopped barking.
That's how they do.
So everybody came.
I think Cooper would be the same.
Yeah, Cooper's very quiet actually when he's at the vets.
Is he?
Yeah.
I always picture Arnold being the quieter one out of them all.
Oh no, Arnold's the noisy one.
Really?
Oh, he's the noisy one. And he's the one with the big deep bark that people think he's like a Rottweiler before they meet him.
Funny story. I used to have a Bichon Frise. I know it's Bichon Frise or something like that. I always call it a Frise. I just think it's a funny word. I had him for 9 years. Obviously, he passed away last year. And not obviously, he passed away last year. And he had a deep bark. We get our bins cleaned every 4 weeks. The dark bin gets cleaned.
Yeah.
And we lived somewhere else before here, and they said, I caught him outside because I said, we're moving. He said, oh, okay. He said, do you mind if we buy your dog a present? And I was like, no. He said, we've nicknamed him Ninja. We want to get them a bandana that says Ninja. I was like, oh yeah, sure, of course. Oh, okay, great. How long have you had a Rottweiler for? And I went, I'm sorry? They went, your dog's a Rottie, right? And I was like, do you want to see my dog? I didn't tell him what it was. I said, but do you want to see him? And he literally called the little kid that works with him. He's like, mate, she's going to get the dog. She's going to get the dog. Do you want to meet him? He's like, yeah, all right then. And we got to the back gate and they opened it. And then this little Bichon, this white, fluffy, tiny thing just sat there like, yeah. And he went, and the other one? That's it.
That's Ninja.
Absolutely kidding me. I was like, nope. He said, we've literally thought it was a Rottie this whole entire time.
Isn't it so funny?
Every time we go to put the little, every time they clean the bin, they put a little note through, and it's like literally this tall and this long. So they have to fold it and really push it through. And it says, we cleaned your bins, next one's due on this. If you get the big envelope, it means you're due to pay them again, and it's not a nice one. But I pay a year in advance. It's like £40 a year or something like that. To have your bin kept clean. So he put this little thing through, and it was a case of, could they get the fingers out before he got the piece of paper? He was never after the fingers. But he gets it and puts it on the floor by the door and walks off. He doesn't even take it or rip it up. It was never about that. It was literally, can I frighten the shit out of you?
Love it.
And so they always thought that was a Rottie. And so they were going to buy his bandana. I went, could you imagine if you bought a Rottie bandana and turned up and I put it on him, like wrapping it around his neck like 1,000 times before it ripped?
Oh my goodness. They couldn't have been any bit more different.
The complete opposite. Complete opposite. But it just made me think about it with Arnold's bark. He's saying it's so deep. Bailey's was. But he never barked. When he was a baby, when he was a puppy, he never barked. Like, he was really, really well behaved. And then we had my brother's dog for a week because he went away, and she would bark at her own shadow. And so by the time she left, Bailey barked at everything.
Oh no.
We went from this amazing, quiet puppy to this amazing, quiet. We would go out for a drink and come home, and every bin, especially the ladies' secret bin in the bathroom, would be ripped up all over the front room floor, and we'd come back with friends, and there's my monthly time on display for absolutely everybody to see.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Mortifying. So we ended up having to have a bin that was like high up, so I ended up using like a bag and stuff. Go to the bathroom, hanging on the windows, the window little handles, hanging on them was my monthly bag. So
oh my goodness.
Just so you didn't get it whilst we were out.
Honestly, the things that you have to do for dogs that are just so not what you think you would need to do for dogs. It's just so funny though how they like learn from each other as well. Like when you mentioned there about barking that was learned from another dog, and they all pick up stuff from each other and they learn stuff from each other.
It's the same with humans though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
I was actually talking in my live today because somebody kept asking me if I had a cold, and it's because I sniff a lot now. And I said, it's weird. I said, I never used to cough until they told me I couldn't cough or sneeze around my table. I said, and I never used to sniff until we got my Redfoot here. And the person setting it up said, you'll sniff all the time now because of the soil dust. And from that second, that split second, I haven't stopped sniffing.
That was it.
As much as I'm telling my brain, why? You don't need to be sniffing because it's nothing to sniff at, like you're fine. I can't stop sniffing because he's told me I'm going to do it. My brain's gone, okay,
yeah.
We'll do that then. So all day long, it's driving me absolutely potty. But it is, it's a trait that you learn, and still as an adult, we do it.
Yeah, exactly. But they're so worth it all, aren't they?
Oh, yours definitely are. I don't want them so much. I just like it when we're like talking in your office, and then their little butts one by one go out the door. It's the cutest thing. It's literally the cutest thing. You get them all piled out from underneath your desk, and it's almost like in a row, and they just potter out the door, and you've got their little butts going, and it's just, I kind of want to be able to go down and ring your doorbell just to make them do it.
Yeah. Trust me, they wouldn't just be waddling out if they heard the doorbell ring. They would be bombing it out there. But no, they're good. They have their moments, but they're good.
You can't beat them. I mean, I'd love another dog. I would. Do I have the energy for another dog? No.
They do require a lot of time.
I do. Do you know what? I think dogs now require less time than tortoises. What did I get myself into?
And you didn't just do it for one. You decided you were going to get two because that was a genius idea.
Well, I've always said I wanted. From the beginning of getting a tortoise, I wanted a Redfoot.
Yeah.
I was told at that time that they lived in a tortoise table.
Yes.
At no point did I want them. I never wanted a vivarium. I didn't want one of those ever. And because of the humidity and the heat and the smell and all that sort of stuff, I didn't want it. So every time you open that, you get the waft of the tortoise shit and stuff. But so I got him, and it was the day before they were dropping him off, I think it was. They turned around to me and went, wait, is there a reason you bought this stuff to come with him? And I was like, yeah, because it's going to go in his table. She's like, oh, can't have him in a table. And instead of my mouth opening going, oh, he's a vivarium, I don't want that then, I went, okay, I'll buy a vivarium. And she literally said, are you sure? Like, you can change the breed if you want to. And my brain went, yes, please. And my mouth went, no, it's fine.
Oh, but it was so worth it in the end. Chihiro was brilliant.
She's apart from obviously there's the clean out. She's so easy, and her new environment's coming on this Thursday, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
To go from this just over like 3.5 new 4 foot to this 6 foot.
she's not going to know herself with all the room. It's going to be the same as what happened to Simba.
Exactly. Oh yeah, Simba going from that 3 foot by 1 foot to a 6 foot by 3 foot. Yeah, like that literally is six times the size that he had. So I mean, he didn't have to be in that yet. He didn't have to go in a new one until next March.
Right.
But for me, staring at him in the size that he was in was a big no-no. And like they said that she could stay in here until she's 5. Absolutely, categorically no.
5?
It should be this big by then. And that should take 5 steps and be at the other end.
No, that's not right.
The person told me, the woman on the phone said to me, she says, first of all, was selling me the small vivarium. And I came off the phone and I spoke to Scott, and she said, oh yeah, she could stay in there for 2 years. That would have been half the size of that, right? 2 years. And she said, and then you need to upgrade to the bigger one. Now, not being funny, the 6 foot one I bought is almost half the price of that. And it's a bespoke, personally made for her. But that's how much they've charged me. Anyway, so I said to her, well, we'll go with the large then. I never asked the sizes. I just went large. It's got to be big. And this is what came as the large. And she said she could stay in there until she's 5. I've had her in there 2 months, and I'm already making it bigger because there's no way she's living in that. No way. And her personality's very changed because obviously the knowledge I was given for her as well was wrong for heat and stuff.
Yes.
And she's changed so much since I've changed her home. And I can't wait to see what she's going to be like in her.
She's gonna love it.
But when I bought her, I had said that I nearly bought a horse field. The only thing that stopped me from buying the horse field is obviously I thought they were a year old, they were going to be like this big already, and I really wanted to go through the process of having a smaller one. And I said, if they put out any 2001 horse fields, I'm having it. And I went to go and buy something for Chihiro, and right there and then there was a 2021, sorry, not 2021.
I did wonder.
2021 tortoise, a Horsfield tortoise, and I just instantly bought it. Didn't ask. I just instantly bought it. And Scott was like, "Where are you going to put it?" And I was like, "In the table that we had for Chihiro." And then obviously I found that group and found out how to actually look after tortoises, and broke it to my husband that we needed space for a 6 foot by 3 foot table, which, as we know, is now in my office.
Yeah.
So all my craft stuff is currently in the hallway and the bedroom.
Yeah, I have seen.
I think half the world is seeing, because every time I do my live, they get to sit behind me. It's a nightmare.
You'll get there.
Yeah, so once Chihira's in, Chihira's going under the table. So she won't be down here. So also I can then lessen her light load, because her lights are so heavy because the back door, and then down here it's colder.
Yes.
So when she goes upstairs, I can drop it to a 50 watt, and it'll take like less energy to take care of her too then. So my only concern is that she's going to be on the floor, and I've got to get down there to get in it and stuff. That's going to be the tough part. But we'll see.
Yeah. Cooper is currently trying to go under the Christmas tree.
Why? Is there toys under there, Auntie?
Yeah. Are you okay?
How low to the floor is your Christmas tree?
Quite low. If I can actually. No, I won't move it. You know why? Because I will lose where I am. What are you doing? Come here then. Oh, come on. There we go. You're in front of me. What are you trying to do?
Kiss you.
There. You happy now? Oh.
Am I on you enough? No.
You should try.
Absolutely crazy. Look at that tail go.
I know. You just can never get close enough. Can you? You can just
Really, 3 or 4.
Hmm?
3 or 4.
He's 4.
His ears. When he turns around, he reminds me of Doc off Back to the Future. The hair.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a culture dog.
He looks around and his ears are up like this. And I go, Doc.
You should have silly.
It's too cute. It kills me. I think Cooper was hinting at you're bottled so we can get wrapped up and get gone. I think he wants attention. So I think we should talk about these beautiful things that me and you have and why we're going to talk about them. I love that I got this gigantic thing and you got this little cute little thing.
Mine's still 2 liters.
This is 3.8. I think it's ridiculous. I know. I've said I'm like, this is great for home.
Yeah.
It really is. So the reason we're showing you these is we'd like to give tips if we can for those with chronic illnesses.
Yeah.
And something that I found really, really hard for me, and Hayley has the same problem, is my knees. My knees are so ridiculously painful, and if you've been on my lives, you've heard them crack as I go up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I've heard you. And because I'm going up and down the stairs to refill this all day when I'm in the office doing stuff or doing crafts or whatever is impossible. So I invested in one of these, and it was actually recommended to me by somebody else. But they said, why don't you get yourself one of these? Like they're fantastic, and they weren't wrong. So I fill this up, take it upstairs, leave it there, and if I'm going up and down the stairs, then I don't like if I'm going upstairs for the day, I don't have to come down the stairs to fill up my glass all the time. And it's fantastic. I even take it out to appointments with me, and it blows my doctor's minds. Like, what is that, and why have you got it with you? It's huge.
Yeah, my biggest concern whenever I was first looking at getting one, because I thought it was a great idea, but I am one of those people who has to have ice cold water. Like I need it to be cold. I can't have room temperature water. And I was so worried about just like a normal water bottle, it doesn't stay cold for very long. And I thought, surely with the size of this, it's never gonna stay temperature wise. But I've actually found, because it's got a larger quantity of water in it, it does stay colder for longer. So I do put ice in with mine, in with my water too, which is already chilled because I do use the fridge. But I find it does stay cold really well, and that was a big thing for me, was whether or not it would be cold enough.
It's not even thermal. There's nothing thermal about it. As you can see,
No.
you can see the water. But if I'm going to the hospital, I literally just do the same. I put ice in it, fill it up, and I'll come home and it's still cold.
Yeah, I go into the office one day a week, and same as you, I take mine with me. So I walk from my car with my bag over my shoulder and walking with my bucket of water. And I got into office the first day I brought it in with me into the office. Everyone looked at me like, what have you got? And my manager started laughing at me. She said, do you think you've got a big enough bottle of water? And I said, no, just you wait. I'm coming in with like a water dispenser next week. And 2 weeks later, I come in and she has one of these too.
No way.
And she said she didn't realize she was ordering the bigger one. She was going to go for a 1 liter. And she said whenever it arrived, she opened it and she says, oh, I laughed at Hayley and I've literally got the same.
I wish she'd bought the 3.8 now and walked in with it.
Yeah, but she absolutely loves it as well. So she's really, she's really got into it too. And it's so good for keeping you rehydrated, because like you said, whenever you're going up and downstairs to try and refill glasses over and over again, you forget about it. Yes. And you put it off because you're going, I can't be bothered doing that trip again. When you have this with you, not only is it a permanent reminder sitting beside you, but you've always got the water there to drink it when you need it. And
the good thing is, I've just seen it's on yours too. It's actually got markers on it for when you should drink.
Yeah.
Now, just bear in mind, You shouldn't drink too much water. There's actually a thing of overhydrating. This is for this size I have. It's for gym goers. This is like if you are going to the gym and you are basically dehydrating the heck out of yourself. That's what this is for. Like if you're like me and you just sit around, do not fill it all the way up and drink it all, because it isn't good for you. The other good thing that I really like about it is it's actually got a phone stand on them.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely, just all of them have. And it blew my mind. Like I couldn't believe it. It actually says phone stand. It's not like I've just made it up and gone, oh, there's a way to do it. It actually says phone stand on it.
Do you know what? I got so confused when it first arrived, because it arrived and it said like instructions with this little sheet, and I said, I don't need instructions from. And then it said about this being a phone holder, and I was just gobsmacked.
Yeah, it's so if you go to the gym,
yeah,
and you want to record or you want to watch something whilst you're working out, you will go into the gym and you can do this. But also, it's made so you can still like open it up whilst you're drinking it. It's just it's clever. I really like it, and all the colors it comes in. But we have the same taste. Although yours looks dark, I think it's because it's smaller.
Yeah, mine's purple and blue. Yours is pink.
Pink. And it was purple and blue. It was purple and blue. I think it's because it's so big. Because it's so big. I don't know. I think mine's teal and pink.
Yeah, I think yours was different to mine. I remember, because that's much darker at the bottom.
I remember I got mine because pancreatitis does my tumours. They're the colours of my illness removed.
I did want yellow and purple, but the yellow and purple was out of stock, so we did purple and blue, green instead.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we wanted to make sure we mentioned them. If you've got any ideas for items that we can discuss on the podcast that you find are very helpful for your with chronic illnesses, please just pop it on the Instagram, or we have a Facebook page. There is a group and a page, but you need to follow the page. So yeah, you can pop a comment on the page or on the Instagram or even on our TikTok and just give us a idea of things that help you. Like we do know there's some people that like cold patches and stuff like that. We have a few already, but we're always up to hearing different ways of helping ourselves throughout the day, because with chronic illnesses and chronic pain, you know, you ain't going to turn out a bit of advice that's going to just give you that insy bit of relief, you know.
Yeah, completely. And you know, if we can try and help and try some products out and things to show maybe what works or what doesn't work, because if the two of us try it, one of us could end up loving it and the other could absolutely hating it. But I mean, not only that, it doesn't have to be a product. It could just be a tip. It could be an activity. It could be something that we can just try to do, whether it's a craft. I know that's something you're getting big into, and we can talk about that at another stage. But you know, even if it's just a tip or just something to do throughout the day that helps, you know, we'd love to try it and give feedback on it. And yeah.
If it makes us look stupid, even better. Hey, it can't be that.
It's just a bonus, isn't it? But yeah, I think we will probably put up a post on Instagram with these bottles and sort of a link to where they came from. So they are from Amazon, and you could just search them, but we will put a link in an Instagram post, and you'll be able to quickly access those from our Instagram page too.
Absolutely. If there's ever a sale that I see on them as well, we will let you know. So always keep an eye out on our Instagram page for things like that.
Definitely.
Well, on that note, I think we've talked enough.
Had enough of you for this week.
You've never heard enough of me. But yeah, we really appreciate you tuning in, and we hope you like the different styles of podcast, and then just the catch up, really, the chit chat, more, you know, relaxed style. Any tips or things you'd like to hear us talk about, again, please let us know on any platform, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok, and we will try and integrate that into chit chats.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll probably see us in a couple of weeks for another one of these chit chats, but until then, it is bye from me.
It's bye from me.
Bye.
Bye.